Can I start?
Yep.
Well, hello, this is Frederick. I am the CEO and one of the two founders of this company, HEDD Audio in Berlin.
No.
I'm sorry we're not in this fancy brick wall building.
The company was actually founded by me and my father, Klaus, who has a very long background in speaker designing. He's been behind the Atom brand between 1999 and 2014, and he has been designing speakers since I can actually think, more than 40 years now.
As these folds are deeper than they are wide, you have a transformation between the diaphragm fold that closes and the driven air. It's approximately like 4:1. So I'm Klaus Heinz, and together with my son Frederick, I have founded HEDD Audio 5-6 years ago.
Whereas he's more coming from the technical perspective as a physicist and a musician that he also is.
Condensers that press the electronical beam is not so far away from diaphragms pressing there, and it was exactly this velocity transformation that is behind the AMT tweeter.
My perspective on products is more user-oriented. I've been working extensively in studios. I'm a practical musician myself, so us teaming up seemed to make a lot of sense back in the days when we started to think about what this brand could be like. Building the brand, building a culture around the products with a network of artists, engineers, institutions all over the world, as well as thinking about where the brand could go in the next year. So the product strategy is also something that is very important for what I do here.
So a lot of the people watching, the headphone show, they know about the headphone itself and the driver used in that, but many of them may not know about the speaker side of things. Could you tell me a little bit about how that driver is used in these speakers?
What I'm happy about is that this is a tweeter which has no weaknesses compared to the good dome tweeters. There have been many special ideas in speaker technology that all had flaws, like being a horn with a coloration, being a ribbon with no impedance, being a ionic tweeter, smelling all the time. The abbreviation means air motion transformer. The air pressed out is 4 times faster than the diaphragm itself.
So there is a whole lot happening around me right now. I can see a few things that make sense. I see an amplifier over there, I see speaker cabinets there, but what is this space? What's going on in here?
Well, for us it's crucially important to make our products in Berlin, in our own factory, with the people that we hired. This is the only way we can guarantee high level quality. This is the only way we can make sure that everything that is being sent out to whatever great studio in the world is quality level, and that's why everything you would ever see in a studio globally is put together here by hand by our staff, and we are frankly speaking quite proud of that.
I'm Dmitry. I'm the head of research and development at HEDD. My first project, the Headphone, was the most rewarding and the most challenging and most amazing project I've ever done. The difficulties during the development of the Headphone were, of course, creating a driver with the acoustical response, or the amplitude response that we in our feeling, in our guts and our perception perceive as natural. It was fascinating and amazing to work on developing the correct membrane, each fold, each change within those folds, how they represented a change within the amplitude response and also the sonic features. That was great to go through that, and it opened up so much to realize that you can. All kinds of designs that have been already applied to other driver technologies now can be also used for an AMT.
As mentioned, the main difference between air motion transformers and the other kind of speakers is that we do not have a piston-like action, which one could expect from such a diaphragm, but this diaphragm with the meander-like electric path is then folded, and we have a chance to look at it here. And you see that each and every of those structures, of those periodic structures, is folded exactly by hand. And there are small markers that could be realigned because a tenth of a millimeter in mistake would add up in a millimeter or two at the end of the story, which would make a very bad performance.
So you have to be very precise.
Now, when the diaphragm is folded, it's calmed down with an extra process so that the folds stay in form, and then it is applied, or it's bonded into a plastic diaphragm, as you can see here.
Having reviewed this headphone in the past, it's actually really interesting seeing it in pieces in front of me and understanding more about what makes this thing tick and why it was built in the way it was. I don't know if I'm allowed to pick this up, but that is a lot of diaphragm. Seriously, look at that's actually like the equivalent of like 3 planars worth of substrate right there.
It's just in its character of its sound, it's already there, and I believe that there will be a lot of new products coming that will have an AMT within them. I think we've opened up a world where a lot of people will be very interested.
We're both really obsessed with sound, and that seems to be like a quite wide statement, but one of the most significant moments in the short history of this company was to actually successfully develop the headphone. It was a huge research and development process in order to find that sound that so many engineers all over the world love. And that for us was a magical moment to know that we actually did it. More people, even on the highest engineering level, working commercially on big productions, they wonder if a great headphone can actually, make them work professionally and, bring a mix or a master to the final stage, essentially. So this is something that we feel is a wave, and we are sort of riding that wave with our headphone.
What is nice about the audio industry as such is that with a musical experience, you can do something better, and an engineering team, if we were in a market where big companies would play the major role, we are not lost, because this individual experience and the capability to reinstall the right sound is not an engineering discipline, but it has to do with music and the experience with natural reproduction. And so as a small company, one still has a chance to do better. That's what I find nice about the audio industry.
Well, that was a really cool experience. I definitely learned a lot more about how air motion transformer drivers work. Got to see some really cool stuff in there. Got to listen to their tall speakers, though we didn't quite get that as much on video. It was a great time. Let me know in the comments if you guys want us to see more places like this, what it might be. But other than that, guys, I think it's going to wrap up this video. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. A comment letting me know what you want to see in the future. If you want to get active in the community, you can at the forums at the link in the video description. As always, don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this. Until the next one. Peace. Bam. I need one of these. Hey.
Yeah, I know the. What's
Have
up?
you been in?
No, not yet.
Go.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
Go now.
Quite good fun.
Close the door. And then leave me here.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can feel the free field
Isn't
right
it
now.
My lack of pressure.
Yeah, my free field HRTF is going crazy right now.
It's just like, you hear that?
No.
Exactly.